Today I want to talk about some of the various stampers that I bought and what I like and dislike about each one, so you can choose one that works well for you. So I have stampers from all sorts of different brands. I have some that are more expensive and some that are less expensive, and there's a wide variety of pros and cons to these different kinds. So first of all, you'll notice that all the stampers that I have are clear. That's really important to me because I like to be able to see exactly where my design is going on my nail. So I don't even bother to buy the opaque ones. Some people say that they work better, but I've never actually had a problem with any of these generally picking up stamps as long as the stamping plate is pretty good. So I have never had any reason to go away from the clear stampers. You'll also see there's sort of a variety of different shapes. There's these small round ones, which are probably the most common of some of the cheaper ones that you'll find on Amazon. There's this, which is usually called the Icebox Stamper. Maniology has that. And then there are some different brands that do these big round stampers. This particular one is from Pueen. I assume that's how you say it. P-U-E-E-N, Pueen. This one I bought on Amazon, but the pricing is a little bit closer to that of Maniology. It's not in line with these super cheap ones. So I'm going to go brand by brand and talk about some of the pros and cons. This one was from Panda Hall. It had no branding on it, but I wrote Panda Hall so I wouldn't forget which one it was. It's a perfectly fine stamper. It works. You can see through it. There's no bells and whistles. It's relatively small. So if you like to have longer nails or if you like to do bigger designs, it's not going to work well for you. If you like small designs or small nails, this will work fine for you. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this stamper. Similarly, this one came from Beauty, B-I-U-T-E-E. It's probably the exact same thing. There's nothing wrong at all with this stamper. Again, it's relatively small, so if you have like small designs and small nails, this one will work great for you. Then this one is the same, except I want to point out, so Melody Susie actually did something really nice. It's the exact same stamper, but first of all, they did label it, so I know which one it is. But also they sent it with replacement stamper heads. I think there were 3 or 4 stamper heads sent with this. And that is such a nice feature because, first of all, your stamper heads do wear out over time. You can also accidentally damage them by getting acetone on them or by cutting them on a nail, a particularly sharp corner of a nail or something like that. Also, if you stamp with different materials, it might be nice to have a couple different stamping heads. For instance, sometimes I stamp with chrome or stamping gel instead of stamping polish. And I found that the chrome and the stamping gel are just much messier and they're much harder to remove completely from the stamping head. So I like to keep that stamping head separate and not use my good stamping head for those products. So that's a really nice option. Again, it is relatively small, so if you have long nails or you like really big full nail designs, this might not be sufficient for you, but it's great if you like small patterns. Then the Maniology Icebox Stamper. This one is quite a bit more expensive. It works great for sure. I do kind of like the shape because the straight edges do make it easy to see if I'm straight in line with the nail. So that's a little bit helpful. And it's also relatively large. Most people would find this to be adequate for any stamp size that they want or any nail size that they want. The one problem with this is that if you do have wide nails, you would have to use it this way. And so that reduces the amount of height that you could have. If you have wide nails, you would have to go like this. If you have thinner nails, you can use the whole length and go like that. So that's the one downside to this one. Otherwise, it works fine. It is more expensive. And now the last one. This one actually is my favorite one. This one is by Pueen. And the reason it's my favorite one is, first of all, it's round. So regardless of if you have wide nails or long nails, you'll probably have enough room for your design. You can see that the full diameter is about the same as the height of the bigger Maniology, but of course you still have the same size in the width, so you don't have that downside. It's really nice and clear. You can see through it. The other thing that I really like about this one is that all of these stampers come with scrapers as well. Most of them are rectangles. Queen actually has a pentagon, and that might seem like an odd shape at first, but I think it's a really thoughtful shape because you're typically doing 5 nails at a time, right? If you're using a rectangle scraper, here's what I do. I scrape one side, I scrape one side, I scrape one side, I scrape one side, then I clean it all off. I don't usually clean it off until I've used each side. That means that I have to clean it off twice per hand. But with the Queen one, they actually were really clever and they did 5 sides. So you can do your whole hand scraping once each side and then clean it off when you're done. That is more helpful to me, at least, than I would have expected, because oftentimes if you are cleaning this off in the middle of doing a hand of nails, you risk getting acetone on your nails. So this was a really clever, I think, design. And that's one more thing that sort of put this one above the other stampers, in my opinion. So that's my rundown of the stampers and the scraper combinations. I hope you found this helpful, and I hope you find a stamper that works for you. Let me know in the comments if you've used anything else or had any challenges or benefits that you found with these stampers I talked about today. Thanks.